So we begin 2019 with a new season of the Blockbusters Show, where we're going to be looking at some more god-awful movies, and we're starting with the so bad it's good sleeper hit of 2012, Oogieloves.
Please be reminded that once the show starts, if you plan on talking, if you feel like singing, and if you can't stop dancing,
then you're in the right place. We're the Oogieloves!
And it's time for all you kids to get out of your seats and join us.
Join Groovy, Susie, and me, Toofy, for a whole new interactive movie-going experience.
Like sweet pickle, dill pickle, warm pickle, chill pickle, please.
Oh, my favorite.
I could use some fixed-all bismol right now.
The Oogieloves in the Big Balloon Adventure.
So this is a kids movie brought to us from the producer of Teletubbies, and from what I can find out, apparently he got the idea to make an interactive movie after going to see Medea Goes to Jail for some reason. And apparently, since he couldn't really get the rights or the permission to do a Teletubbies movie, he decided that he was just going to take some other obscure franchise that he managed to buy the rights to and warp that into the Oogieloves. It's their friend Schloofy's birthday, and the Oogieloves, Zuzi, Gooby, and Toofy, are planning a secret surprise party. But when the last 5 magical balloons in lovely Loveville are lost, Gooby, Zuzi, and Toofy must find them, or the party will be a disaster. Along the way, the Oogieloves meet some interesting characters, played by Toni Braxton, Cloris Leachman, and Christopher Lloyd, who will help them in their quest. But will the 3 friends find the balloons in time to save the party? So the 3 Oogieloves, which are childlike but huge compared to that of a regular human, one of them likes doing science stuff, one of them talks to animals, and one of them just likes to have fun. They live in this house. They have a talking pillow, which speaks in complete gibberish, a talking vacuum named J. Edgar. I'll give you a point for that. That's kind of clever, but all the 2-year-olds in the audience, you know, all one of them, because let's face it, this movie was a box office bomb, probably weren't going to get it. And a talking mirror, which has a kind of relationship with the vacuum, which, that's just creepy. So the plot itself kicks off when J. Edgar ends up losing all the magical yellow balloons that he was going to get for the pillow's birthday. So he goes back to the Oogieloves and tells them that they need to go and collect them. And this is what begins the big balloon adventure in the title. Before they can do that, they gotta do some more important stuff, like sing a song about eating breakfast. So after a song about pancakes, they then go off to search for the balloons, and their first stop is a teapot in a tree, which they call a tree pot. Inhabited by an older woman who loves circles, and she's played by Cloris Leachman, one of the many celebrities in this movie. This is something I noticed a lot with this movie, but it's very apparent in the Cloris Leachman segment. Lots of ADR is done, and it's just weird because, first of all, half the dialogue barely matches the lip movement, and secondly, it doesn't even sound like it was recorded on set. It sounds like they just went back and recorded it in a booth, which that's what they'll do a lot of the time, but they'll at least try to mix it to where it at least sounds like it wasn't like that. But here, it was just so apparent and weird.
Don't you have a wonderfully rounded orange? Oh, will you bounce a giant rubber ball?
And speaking of weird audio tricks, there's a musical number, and it just fades out, and then the scene just continues. There's no like fade to black or fade to another sequence or location or whatever. It just stops, and then the scene just continues, and it's really weird. They get the balloon, and then they're on to the next place, which is a milkshake restaurant hosted by Chaz Palminteri as Milky Marvin. You know what? Honestly, him and Carrie Elwes, who shows up later, they were the only 2 people that I was like, you know what? They probably just looked at the script and went, you know what? I'm going to make this my all. I'm going to just embrace it. I'm going to embrace the stupidity of Oogieloves, and I'm just going to make this the best performance. And damn it, does he keep doing that with every... Oh!
My favorite.
Also, his song sequence is so bad because all it is it's one line on repeat.
You want a milkshake, you know what to do. March and move, 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 move. Oh.
But yeah, he has their balloon, and he's going to sell it as a prize for a milkshake drinking competition. Even though the rightful owners showed up and said that they want the balloon back, they're going to have to participate. Which, pretty sure that's a crime. But the talking goldfish they brought along with them, he was able to drink and finish his milkshake the fastest, so obviously they win the balloon, and on to the next segment. They come across Tony Braxton, who easily has the best song in the whole movie, and it's about sneezing.
Clear your throat with a cough, cough, cough.
Because her thing is that she loves roses even though she's allergic to them, and she keeps sneezing, and that's what segues into the song about. When I said that it was the best song, I meant it was the best produced song. Every other song is awful, but this song was at least the one sung by a person who is an actual singer. The stupidity and the weirdness continues because the balloon ends up on the tail of her jet, and she says the plane can't take off with that attached.
My jet won't be able to take off with a balloon wrapped around its tail.
Jet. One single balloon. Yeah, you figure that one out. And then, instead of just getting a ladder or something, they decide to take a bunch of luggage, put a blanket over it, and use it as a trampoline, which, yeah, it's not going to happen. Kids, don't try that at home. We get the balloon onto the next segment where they come across Carrie Elwes as a truck-driving cowboy who bobs around and has an obsession with bubbles.
Do you like bubbles?
Yeah!
Well, gosh, are you in the right place?
Just like with the tail on the jet, they could easily get the balloon, which is stuck on one of his truck exhausts, by just getting a ladder. But everywhere they go, there's like a different animal. And in this case, this guy has a pet puffin that can't fly because of many, many different conditions. And then the bird flies through the power of awful special effects. And the last balloon is on top of a windmill, and they need to get across a lake. And they are boarded onto a sombrero spaceship piloted by Jamie Presley and Christopher Lloyd. So how are they able to get to the top of the windmill? Well, they make a giant plant grow out of the ground with Christopher Lloyd snake charming the plant to grow, and then one of them hops on board the plant and then is brought back down when they get the balloon. And then they all show up for the Pillow's birthday party. Everybody celebrates. The celebrities have one more quick cameo before promptly yelling at their agents for booking them a job in this. And then the movie just kind of stops. Like, they're just like, we got the balloons, and then fades to credits. It was like one of the most abrupt endings to a movie I've seen in a while. Like, I haven't seen an ending that abrupt since Cyber Seduction. Saying this movie has a very cheap production would be a massive understatement. This is one of those kid movies that I feel like kids would watch when they're really young, and then they grow up and they're like, God, I watched this? Oh my God. I feel like that's what this movie is. Of all the movies that I've reviewed for this show thus far that were in theaters that I was like, wait, how did that get to theaters? They have nothing on this movie. Norm of the North, Meet the Spartans, Thunderstruck. This, I am baffled that this somehow ended up in theaters. Meet the Spartans, you know, that was back when awful parody movies like that somehow ended up in theaters, usually like in January when really crappy movies are dumped out. And Thunderstruck, they probably just had a lot of faith that, you know, Kevin Durant was going to carry that movie. I feel like any kind of money that was used on this movie either went to getting the actors or it went to booking theaters, because I really, looking at the movie, you know, there's lots of really cheesy effects, you know, horrible Photoshop jobs. You know, as much as I was railing on the David Dakota movies for having bad effects, at least those go straight to video. On one hand, I want to say it's a really bad movie, because it really is. But at the same time, I got some major laughs out of this movie. This is one of the greatest so bad it's good movies I think I've seen in a while. This is on par with Go Animate the Movie and Cyber Seduction and all the big ones like Birdemic and Amazing Bulk and Cool Cat and Flying Ryan. This is easily in the same ballpark as that. With the cheap production, the lackluster acting, the stupid song sequences, there is just so much unintentional laughs that you can get from a movie this bad. So yeah, if you're a genuine movie fan and you don't watch bad movies ironically to make fun of them, this movie sucks. It's terrible. Do not watch it. But if you are aware of the whole so bad it's good movie scene and like movies like that, I'd say give this one a shot, because again, there are some real unintentional laughs to be had here. So yeah, Oogieloves. Terrible movie, but if you watch it in the right mood, you might get some laughs out of it. Tune in next time for the next video. I'm going to be looking at that Gary Coleman safety instruction video from, I forget if it was the 80s or 90s. But yeah, so just look forward to that. I'm Adam Sykes, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Good luck on your big balloon adventure.